why they just didn't use their car. I don't know. Hello and welcome back to my series, End of Summer Glow Up. Oh my goodness. Today is Thursday. I did not film yesterday. I did film some of the stuff that we did. So yesterday was one of my brother-in-law's birthdays. But before we get into all that, let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is Brooke. I'm 28 years old. I live in North Carolina with my husband. And on this channel, I like to talk about personal finances and lifestyle and just being in your 20s. So if that is something that is interesting to you, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around. So like I said, yesterday was a little bit crazy, so I didn't get anything filmed. However, I did set my new weekly goal, and my weekly goal this week is specifically around wanting to make sure that I don't have too much screen time. So my average screen time for the last week has been 7 hours and 30 minutes, which is so crazy. That's a lot. And that's just my phone hour time. That's not, working on my computer screen or watching TV after work or anything like that. So this is specifically to take down my phone time. And so my goal is to bring my average down by 1 hour. It is something that I'm trying to do sustainably so that I can make sure that this habit sticks, because I think one of the things that I am really guilty of is being really addicted to my phone. And I'm not like scrolling on social media too much. I mean, I do like to watch reels and things like that and YouTube. But the main thing is I've been really into this phone game called Travel Town, and I really like it. And the reason why I actually started playing it is because I get points through Fetch. So if you don't know what Fetch is, I have a great video about how to make like some extra money on the side. So I will link that. Fetch gives you points for playing phone games. And so this phone game, I did it with Monopoly Go, and I got all of the bonuses that you can get there. And I'm doing it with this game currently. And so I'm basically like trying to get to the highest level that they'll give you points for, which is level 60. And I'm already on level 57. So as you can see, I have a bit of a problem. But once I get there, I will probably delete it and just get my fetch points. But if you want to get fetch points, I do have a link in my description. It's just like a link that, anybody can like send to their friends and stuff. And it gives you bonus points for your first thing. What you do is you scan receipts. Mainly, that's the thing that you do to make points. But if you play games, you get bonus points for reaching different milestones in those phone games. So if you want to do something that's like a little bit mindless, definitely check that out. For me, it's been a bad habit, and I want to curb that habit because I know that I am much more healthy when I am not on my phone as much. So that's my goal. And I will be honest that I started this goal yesterday, but I checked my hours yesterday and it was over 9 hours of screen time on my phone. So yeah, that's embarrassing to say, but I want to be honest with you all. And I did get in my 8,000 steps, so I'm still continuing on that goal, but the phone time is going to be hard. So I want to just get on here and have some accountability for that. Today, my goal is to have my screen time be 6.5 hours or less. So let's try and do that. Like I said, I want my average over the week to be 1 hour less than my average of last week. So my average should be around 6 hours, 30 minutes. So that's what I'm going to try and aim for every day, because I just want to have a better relationship with my phone and with technology. So if that is something that is interesting to you, I would love for you to follow along with week 2 of our end of summer glow up, and let's get going. It is now Friday, and we had a good time last night. Last night we went and celebrated one of our friends' birthdays. He was actually one of the best men in our wedding. And so we went over there and we had a delicious charcuterie spread. So that was really good. We brought our oranges and grapes that we had left over. So we added to the delicious spread as well. And we also gave him his birthday card, and it was just a really nice time. We played the game Gen Smack. It's a game that we got a few years ago, and it's really fun because there are questions about pop culture, movies, music, all that kind of stuff, but each of them comes from like a specific generation. So you know like about the time period that the question is going to be around, and you get bonus points if you answer questions outside of your generation. So it's just a really fun game, and I always learn something that I did not know. So it's always fun to like learn stuff about different topics. Like one of the questions was like from I think the greatest generation, which is like the 1920s to the 1940s, those people who were born in there. So a lot of the questions are around like things that happened when they were teens and in their 20s and stuff like that. So it's usually about like a decade or so after they were born. This question was actually around pet rocks. And did you know that the person who invented pet rocks made $15 million off of that invention? That's crazy. People were so excited to buy pet rocks apparently. But I actually got that question correct. I did have to use the hint. There are hints on each card, and if you don't use the hint, you get another bonus point on top of that. But I got it with the hint, and I was like really excited that I did that. I was like, man, $15 million on rocks. And yesterday, I still am working on getting that down. That's why I am looking at the overall weekly average, because yesterday, when I was like, I felt like I was only like halfway through the day. I was already at like over 7.5 hours of screen time. And the thing is, like, I use my phone for other stuff other than just like scrolling and things like that. So it's impossible to really get my screen time down to zero because, I'll use it when I'm like on the phone with somebody or when I'm texting people. So I don't think I could ever get my screen time down to zero. But like seeing that I was already at like 7.5 hours and it was only like 2 p.m. was kind of crazy. So I really like need to really work on that today and really be more mindful about like when I am picking up my phone and when I am using it, because I don't want that to be the standard that I am using my phone that much. And I really want to do this because I know that this is a bad habit of mine. Like when I first wake up in the morning, my phone is the first thing that I look at, and I really want to not have my whole life kind of like revolving around my phone. And honestly, like my phone is kind of like my security blanket. Like whenever I go out, like if I don't have my phone with me, I feel like I'm missing something, which is crazy. So I think that this is probably going to be the hardest part of these weekly challenges, is like facing the fact that I have an addiction to my phone. So yeah, we are going to see what we can do about that. Again, I'm just going to be trying to bring my weekly average down by 1 hour. So from 7.5 hours to 6.5 hours. So next Wednesday, I will check in and see what my screen time was then over the week, and we'll see how we did there. I think usually on the weekends, I actually tend to use my phone less. When I like am at work and there's like a lull in what I'm doing, I'll just like get on my phone for a little bit. And I think those times add up. But like when it's the weekend and I'm like doing stuff and I'm out there like getting groceries, doing all my like weekly things, like I have less time to be on my phone. We are going to see how we can get that down. Let's get on with our Friday. And tonight we are going to go celebrate my husband's achievement of passing his exam. So he had to take a professional exam in order to get his license. He is an engineer, and so that is what we are celebrating today, him doing that. So I'm really excited to celebrate him tonight. Good morning. It is now Sunday, and I am up early because I have to go to church today. I didn't film anything yesterday, and honestly, on Friday, I wasn't feeling that great, so I didn't do too much on Friday other than work. But in terms of my screen time on my phone, I did about 6 hours both Friday and Saturday, so that's pretty good. That is much lower than my average of 7.5, so I'm happy with that. Again, I'm just trying to make small, sustainable changes, not trying to like go scorched earth every time that I set a new goal. Yesterday, I watched season 2 of the Apothecary Diaries. It's one of my favorite new animes, and it's about this girl who lives in like imperial China, kind of. The setting is like that. And she was raised by a doctor and knows a lot about medicine, and she's also an investigator of sorts. She likes to solve mysteries, and so the story is of her living in the rear palace, which is where the concubines live, and helping them with different things. She becomes a royal taste tester for one of the concubines, and it's just great to see like a female lead who is super smart, and she's surrounded by like all of these powerful women, and it's just fun to see like their female friendships and how she solves the mysteries, and you can kind of solve them along with her. So that is my recommendation. And while I was doing that, I actually moved my walking pad into the living room so I could walk and watch TV at the same time. So I walked about 2 miles on my walking pad yesterday while watching the show. I think that that's a great way to just combine a leisurely activity with getting in your steps. So I definitely recommend that. If you have a walking pad, or if you're thinking about getting a walking pad, that is a great way to use it. And today we are going to go to church. We are then going to come back and we have to meal prep. This week we are making salmon bowls. So we are doing some salmon, quinoa, and broccoli, and I think it will turn out really great. I think I'm going to use the Bachan's Japanese barbecue sauce as like my main sauce, and I love it so much. It's very tasty, so highly recommend it if you haven't tried it. But now I have to get on to church. I am volunteering this morning, so before we do that, I am going to make myself a to-go coffee and get out the door. And so I will see you all later this afternoon when we are cooking. It's now Monday, and yesterday we had a really great time at our friend's house for dinner, and then we did some Bible study, and then we came back and we made lunches. So I filmed some of the cutting up of the vegetables and things like that, but that was really yummy. I'm excited to eat that for lunches this week. It was very simple, just quinoa, salmon, and broccoli, so that's going to be really yummy. And yesterday, my screen time was still about the same, about 6 hours, which I am happy about. That is a big drop from last week. So I think I'm doing pretty well on that goal. In terms of my walking, I did get in my steps on Saturday, but I didn't get them in yesterday, but that's totally okay. We are going to start out a new day working to get those goals accomplished. Today, I'm going to be working on some blog posts. I'm going to continue working on my code. I have a couple of meetings today because it's Monday, so we have our weekly check-ins with our team. And we are just going to have a productive Monday after work. We're going to go to the gym because it's supposed to rain tonight. We were originally going to mow, but then because of the rain, we decided we're going to go to the gym instead. And then my husband's going to spend the evening playing some video games with one of his friends. So I will probably finally watch the Gilded Age season finale. I was going to watch it last night. I think it's also the series finale. I was going to watch it last night, but I tried watching it and I got an error on my computer when I tried to start the video. And it said that I had too many devices watching it at one time. So I think what happened is my parents also are really into the show. I logged into my HBO account at their house. And so I think they were watching it last night because they've been telling me they've been staying up to date. So I think they watched it in real time last night when the episode premiered at 9 o'clock. And so when I was trying to watch it, it was the same time as they were trying to watch it. So I will watch it tonight while my husband plays his video games, and I will use my walking pad while I'm doing that to get in my steps. But today is going to be a good day, and tomorrow is going to be my final day of this vlog, and then we will move on to week 3, which is so crazy. I can't believe it's almost been 2 whole weeks of this challenge. And week 3, we will have a new challenge to start, but I am so excited for today. I think we're going to be very productive. I'm just going to jump onto my computer, drink my iced coffee, and get to work. Good morning. It is Tuesday, and so that means today is the last day of week 2 of my end of summer glow up vlog series. And yesterday I only did about 5 hours on my phone, so that is great. I am going to take a screenshot of my screen time at the end of the day so you can see how much I did through Tuesday and what my new average is. And as a reminder, my old average was 7.5 hours. So my goal was to reduce that average by 1 hour to be 6.5 hours. So by the end of today, I will see what that is. And I'll also put a screenshot here in the video so you can see how I did. But yesterday was really just a chill evening. We went to the gym, and then afterwards we went to Chick-fil-A, and something really weird happened at Chick-fil-A. I mean, I've never had this happen to me at a drive-thru before. So when you go to Chick-fil-A, there are these people who are standing in the drive-thru, employees that have iPads, and they take your order from there instead of you having to like go and talk to like the little box and, you know, all that stuff. Sometimes like people don't hear you very well through that speaker anyway. So we had made our order. We had told them, you know, this is what we want and our name and everything like that. And we were waiting for quite a while. Like usually the line goes fairly fast. And so we were waiting, you know, 10 minutes or so. It wasn't like crazy long. It was a little bit longer than normal. And then this person came up to our window. And we're like, oh, hi, like, how's everything? We hadn't gotten our food yet, but it was, I think, one of the managers, and he said, so we've got a situation. There's this person in the drive-thru, like, at the front of the line, and they refuse to move their car. So we're politely going to ask everybody to back out of the Chick-fil-A drive-thru because they're not moving their car. And I'm like, okay. Thankfully, there was this person who, like, immediately after we were told that, came up to us and had our food. So we were able to grab our food and back up. But I was like, this is so crazy. And the drive-through was kind of narrow, and we almost had our mirror, we almost hit one of the poles with our mirror, but thankfully we didn't, but it was really close. And I just don't know why anybody was like fighting in the Chick-fil-A drive-through, like why they just didn't move their car. I don't know. So that was interesting. But we got our food and we came back. We watched some Dr. Stone, and then I actually started Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood last night. I have read all of the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, but I hadn't read any other Sarah J. Maas books. So I decided to pick this up when I was at the beach. And honestly, I read about the first 50 pages last night and I really liked it. So I think this is going to be a good book. Thank you so much for watching through week 2 of my end of summer glow up series. I'm feeling so good about how the end of summer is going. And I can't wait until we go on our work trip in September and then go to Mexico later. As always, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, y'all.